Hello, my name is Emma, and welcome to 5 by 5. I'm building a thing. Watch me build a thing that's 5 feet by 5? No. This is just a way that I want to do wrap-ups, if you will, this year, or reading roundups, meaning that I want to review books by fives. So I thought that would be an easier way to do it, and yeah, that's the explanation for that. It's not that exciting. Anyway, okay. So I have read a lot of graphic novels recently, so this is going to be graphic novel heavy. Well, 3 of them are graphic novels. I don't know how to talk anymore. It's 10 a.m. I just took a shower, and my roommate's not here, so I was like, I should just film this video. This is just getting more and more awkward. Okay, so the first book I read this year, I read on January 1st, and that was We Should All Be Feminist by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This is, I think a lot of people know what this is, and I don't have this book with me, but if I am not feeling lazy, I'll put the picture of the book cover here. We Shall Be Feminist is a book form version of a TED Talk she gave, a TED Talk that I believe was included in the song Flawless by Beyonce. So basically it's just hit all the media rounds, but it's an amazing, amazing TED Talk about feminism, about intersectional feminism. It's a fantastic, fantastic and powerful speech. I found it to be hopeful and interesting, and I think it's a really good present or gift to give someone who doesn't really understand feminism, because she basically refutes all these claims that, like, feminism is a certain thing and you have to be a certain way to be a feminist, and I thought that was really great. And it was a really just fantastic and powerful way to start off this year. The next book I want to talk about that I read this year so far is Green Glass House by Kate Milford. Green Glass House is a middle grade novel. It's sort of a mixture between, say, Agatha Christie, which is what I've heard it described as, and the Mysterious Benedict Society. It's about a boy, or the main character is a boy called Milo. He lives in Green Glass House, and Green Glass House is a smuggler's inn that his parents own, and it's out in the middle of nowhere in a port city. And it's around Christmas time when all of these strange and quirky people start showing up, and they all have secrets, and so Milo and this girl that he meets end up trying to discover the mystery, and there's lots of plot twists and lots of fun stuff happens. It's a really fantastic middle grade novel. I really enjoyed it. The novel deals with identity issues as Milo is adopted and trying to understand what it means to be adopted or how he fits within the world. It's very sweet and powerful and cute, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it. It talks a lot about family. At the heart of this novel, it's about family, which through all of, like, the silliness that goes on, or, like, the, you know, the ridiculousness of it, it's about family. My favorite aspect of Green Glass House was that the girl in the book is interested in a equivalent of Dungeons and Dragons, which I thought was really cool that the little girl was interested and not Milo the boy, because I think that's nice to kind of switch around some gender ideas in that way. The third book I read this year so far is The Warrior's Guide to Life by Gemma Corral. Gemma Corral is a online comic artist, and a lot of her stuff is on Instagram, and I was at the library with a friend of mine, and I just sort of found it and picked it up and read it while I was sitting there. It's very hashtag relatable, it's very cute, I like the illustrations. It's not a book that I'd ever buy, but I enjoyed reading it, so it was pretty good. Next we have Exquisite Corpse by Penelope Bagu. This is a graphic novel translated from French, so I probably butchered this lovely woman's name, but it is a really interesting look at the literary world. I don't really want to say too much. It's a very short graphic novel, so it's not like, you know, there's a lot that happens, but it does twist and kind of change your expectation of what's going to happen. You think it's going to be just a love story, but it becomes something else. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was surprising and funny and cute. I really liked the illustrations. It was really good. I really liked it a lot. And it was really surprising and cute and fun. So I would give that a read. And finally, I want to talk about a book that I read with the lovely Emma from Tricky by My Shelf, and that is The Diary of a Teenage Girl, an account in words and pictures by Phoebe Gloeckner. I probably said that woman's name wrong. This is a semi-autobiographical mixture of comics. Oh, I can't find the actual comics. Comics and words and illustrations. This book follows Minnie. Minnie is a 15-year-old girl who who at the start of the novel has started a relationship with her mother's 35-year-old boyfriend. This book is one of the hardest things I've ever read, like emotionally. It's very difficult to get through. It deals with stuff like sexual assault, sexuality, it deals with drug use and depression, anxiety. It's just like everything that's sort of deemed difficult, this book tackles in some way, or sometimes it doesn't tackle and it just sort of talks about it and it allows the reader to think about it. The heart of this novel, though, is about Minnie's sexuality in a couple of different ways. Her sexuality in terms of who she's sexually attracted to, but also her sexuality in terms of having sex and understanding what her sort of sexual power is. This book, like I said, is very, very difficult and really painful to read sometimes. Very, very uncomfortable to the point where I just felt like my skin was crawling. But I will say that this book is so good. Emma and I talked about it, like, this book isn't a likable, or not likable, this book isn't enjoyable. Like, you don't enjoy reading it, but you gain so much from it, and it's a very impactful, moving experience. It doesn't really have, like, an ending that you're expecting, but it has an ending that's very much real life. It felt like the most honest portrayal, even though it was so different from my own life, portrayal of, like, being a teenager, and especially being a teenager in the 1970s. That's when my mom was a teenager, so I asked her lots of questions about, like, is this accurate? And I think that comes from the fact that Phoebe, this is partially from Phoebe's actual diaries when she was a teenager. It's just crazy powerful and unexpected and really not for everyone. This is not a book that I would tell everyone to read. I would say if you like books that are challenging, that challenge you, if you like YA books, and this is not YA, but if you like YA books that are really tough and tackle difficult issues about young people, I think this could be the next step and, like, going further in tackling those issues. It's not a book that I'd recommend to anyone who's pretty young. There's a lot of, like, nudity in it. It's a rough and tough book, but it's really, really powerful. So I would say, like, 5 stars all the way. But it's honestly pretty unrateable. Anyway, so that is my 5 by 5. Let me know if you like this idea for doing this wrap-up situation. I'm going to have a book haul soon because I have a lot of books to show you. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.